What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, want to talk about this media event for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League that's happening next week. So we got news this morning from several creators, Lejeune, Jay Shockblast, Caboose, amongst others, that got to go there, play the game early, talk to developers, and that their coverage of it is going to be dropping, I believe, next Tuesday, right? So just wanted to talk about what we could expect to see from that. But firstly, this is that first chapter of January being really the month for this game, right? And you know, when I've talked about this game, I actually have always forgotten that if you do that whole deluxe edition, you get to play the game that does fall in January because you get to play it a few days early. So technically, if you want, you'll be playing this game in January. Also, by the time we get maybe even late next week or early the week after, I imagine codes are going to start getting sent out. You know, we talked about situations with mom and pop shops, potentially selling the game early. I'm sure you'll see this game on Twitch on like January 22nd or so, like kind of towards that tail end of January. It's going to be happening pretty darn fast. But as for next week, you get it kind of controlled, right? WB kind of gets to control it. And then after that, I think things are going to start to open up. So what could we see from it? Well, this is going to be interesting because you have a choice, right? The first thing I thought of was what if they just, and I don't think they just played it, but what if they can now talk about the closed tech test that people were able to play? And I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't know if that would mean like the embargo would kind of be lifted off of everybody, but this would be that time. And, this goes back to that age-old discussion of, hey, I think it's a net positive, that tech test. I think we should be able to talk. Now, I'm not saying break NDAs and go talk about it, but I think it'd be in their best interest to let the people that played it be able to speak about it. I think that'd be good. So I would hope that at least part of what the people played and are able to talk about next week, and I think this is possible too, especially, and I don't want to break anything, but like if you played that tech test, there was a good amount of content there, right? And I guess why I'm saying that is if they played more than that, you've played a substantial, amount of the game at this point. So I don't know. I wonder and I'm sure we'll find out. I wonder what the split is. Did they get to replay what we already played, and then maybe they got to play an hour or so more, and they kind of jumped them to different parts of the game? Did they just get to play? And I doubt it. But did they just get to play the closed tech test stuff and now they're openly able to talk about it? Maybe they just played different stuff that we haven't played yet. And I think it should be a mix because maybe things get introduced later on that you'd want them to experience or be able to talk about, right? So that's the biggest thing to me because that would make it bigger than just what they were able to play, right? If they're talking about the closed tech test, maybe it's just them that'd be allowed to, maybe other people. And I would hope. I think people should be able to talk about it, especially now that we're just, a few weeks away from it. But obviously the normal, public service events, look, if you want to go based off of what they say, you go based off of it. If you don't want to go based off of it, you don't go based off of it. You do whatever you want. But even in terms of maybe spoilers, I doubt it. I highly, highly doubt they're going to show anything too extreme next week. But like I said, as we get closer, I think things are going to get a little bit more wild. I don't think it's going to happen next week. You're not going to show them anything that massively jeopardizes, right, what this game, and you're not going to let them show or talk about anything that massively jeopardizes the game. So I'm sure from a spoiler perspective, it's going to be pretty, low. I think it's going to mainly be focused on the legitimate, like the actual gameplay, right? Because again, if you think about it, if you played the tech test, you know what it feels like and you know how the gameplay acts, but you can't talk about it legally, right? So I think next week is a really good opportunity, no matter what, to be able to say without restriction, hey, here's how it literally feels. So I think it should be pretty cool. And again, it's just the start of really those next 2 weeks after it. It's going to be pretty fast and furious. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I'll be covering as much of it as I can. I'll watch their previews and we'll kind of analyze it and discuss it on this channel. So that's what you can kind of look forward to here. Thank you for watching and hope to see you all on the next one.